Hello students, welcome to the video lecture series of Artificial Intelligence. Today's topic that we are going to cover up is Production System and Control Strategy. I am your instructor Bhumin Mandalia for this video lecture series of Artificial Intelligence. Today's outline, that means the topic that we are going to cover up, the first topic is Production System, second topic is Control Strategy, and third is breadth first search algorithm, and last is depth first search algorithm. These breadth first search and depth first search are the control strategies to solve the problems of AI. In previous session we had studied with the problem state space and search. Okay, so with the basis of those topics we are going to start with the production system. Now let us understand first of all what is production system. See, production system provides a structure which is used to arrange AI programs in a way that facilitates describing and performing search. That means if we will have a chess problem, if we will have the water jug problem, then which type of strategy we are going to follow, which type we are going to follow for heuristic search, all those things will be there in this production system. So production system facilitates us to solve the problem of artificial intelligence. So in this production system, it will have basically a set of rule, one or more knowledge or we can say database, third is a control strategy, and last is a rule applier. So these four things will be there for this production system. Now let us understand what is the meaning of this first, that is a set of rules. See, in water jug problem we specified some set of rules. That means let's say fill the 4-gallon jug fully, fill the 3-gallon jug fully. All these things we had applied in water jug problem. So those can be termed as operators or we can say rules. Second thing that we will have, that is one or more knowledge or we can say database. See, knowledge or database, that means see, to solve the problem we must have some information regarding to that. See, for example, if we want to play chess, then we must know that how to play chess. We must have the intelligent mind. So that can be done using this knowledge or we can say database. From those knowledge or we can say database, we will adopt some rules. Okay, for example, let's say the horse can run, the horse can step away in 2.5 steps only. Okay, for example, let's say the camel can run in horizontal or vertical manner only. Okay, the elephant can run in horizontal or vertical manner only. So these can be termed as the chess rules. Likewise, in water jug problem also we were having some rules that we will not be able to fill the some water in jug. So those were the rules for this problem. Okay, for example, let's say in tic-tac-toe, the person will be able to win if zero or cross is done in cross or we can say horizontal or we can say vertical manner. So those can be termed as rules or we can say which can be adopted from knowledge or database. The third thing is control strategy. Control strategy, that means which type of strategy we are going to apply for solving the approach. For example, let's say how we are going to elaborate all the nodes, that will be decided by control strategy, right? For example, let's say if we want to run in breadth first search manner, if we want to run the algorithm in depth first search manner, that will be called using control strategy. And last is a rule applier. A rule applier, that means all rules, means whatever suitable rule that will be given, that will be decided by a rule applier. Okay, that means the rule deciding is done by control strategy and that rule will be applied by a system that is called as rule applier. So all these four things will be there in production system. Please don't get confused with the production system that we are running in factories and shops and malls. See, in this the production system is basically a system to solve one AI problem. Okay, so these four things will be constituted in production system. Now see, let us move to the second step, that what is control strategy. See, here the first step was a set of rule, second step was control strategy. So from these four things, one and only one thing which is unknown to you people, that is control strategy. Okay, so see, in control strategy which rule to apply next in the process of search for a solution of multiple rules. If multiple rules are applicable, that is decided by control strategy. So control strategy is going to decide that which rule should be applied next. For example, in water jug problem, from 0, 0, that means both jugs are empty, then should we fill 4 gallon jug fully, should we fill 3 gallon jug fully, that will be decided by control strategy. Okay, how all the nodes of state space is elaborated, that is decided by my control strategy. So showing the algorithm for breadth first search. So first step is to create a variable that is called as node list. Node list is one queue, right? So in that queue we are going to set with the initial state, and initial state is 0, 0. If we consider water jug problem in form of example, so 0, 0 will be set as my first initial state, right, in my queue that is called as node list. So see, next step, that until a goal state is found or node list is empty, that means we are going to traverse this loop until node list is empty, or we can say the goal state is found. So in this number 2, the first step is that remove first element from node list and call that node as name E. Second step is, for each way that rule can match the state described in E, do this one. Okay, so see, for example, let's say from 0, 0 we are having two steps. First is 4, 0 and 0, 3 in form of water jug problem. So in water jug problem we are having two options, 0, 4, sorry 4, 0 or 0, 3. So those two options will be considered according to this E, because E is my 0, 0 right now. So see, in this apply the rule to generate next state. That means we have applied the rule, first rule, that fill 4 gallon jug fully. So we will reach to the 4, 0 and fill 3 gallon jug fully. That means 0, 3. So those two things we have applied. And if new state is goal, then quit and return. So let's say if 4, 0 is my final state, then it will quit the algorithm and it will return. Okay, so that will be done with the breadth first search. Now let us understand the tracing of breadth first search algorithm. See, 0, 0 is there as a first step. So see, in breadth first search we will add 4, 0 and 0, 3 in form of queue. So this is called as my node list. So in this node list we have added 4, 0 and 0, 3 in form of node. So this is a breadth first. So see, 0, 0 is the first node, that is my initial state. So that 0, 0 has been also placed in my node list as a first element. So once we remove that 0, 0 from my queue, I will explore that node 0, 0. After exploring this 0, 0, we have reached to two nodes. First is 4, 0 and second is 0, 3. Okay, so we have reached to these two nodes. So those have been also added in my node list queue. So now see, 0, 0 I had removed. Okay, and now my first element of queue is 4, 0 and second element of queue is 0, 3. So which node should be applied next? Which should be explored next? So that is 4, 0. Okay. So after exploring 4, 0, I have added three more nodes in my queue, and those nodes are 4, 3, 0, 0 and 1, 3. Okay, 4, 3, that means I have filled up 3 gallon jug fully. 0, 0, that means I have poured 4 gallon jug water onto the ground, and 1, 3, that means I have transferred water from 4 gallon jug to 3 gallon jug until and unless 3 gallon jug is full. Okay, so that I have done using this breadth first search algorithm. So lastly I have added 4, 3, 0, 0 and 1, 3 in queue, because those nodes have been recently added by exploring the node 4, 0. Okay, likewise this queue will continue until and unless we have reached to the goal state, or we can say node list is empty. Likewise, in Q, the upcoming nodes will be 4, 3, 0, 0 and 3, 0. Okay, by exploring the node that is 0, 3. So can we say that all nodes we are exploring level by level? Right, so that is called as my breadth first search algorithm, because we are exploring all the nodes level by level. So this is the tracing of breadth first search algorithm. Now see, advantages of breadth first search algorithm. If there is a solution, then BFS will definitely find it. That means it is guaranteed to find this. Why? Because none of the nodes will remain without exploration. So if solution exists, then BFS will definitely find that solution. Okay. Second is BFS will not follow a path blindly. Why? Because see, in on each and every level, what BFS is going to do, every time it is going to compare my nodes. Okay, every time it is going to compare my nodes with goal state. If goal state is found, then it is going to terminate the algorithm there itself. It is not going to continue blindly, right? So these are the advantages of BFS algorithm. Now next control strategy is depth first search control strategy. In depth first search control strategy, let us start with the algorithm of that first. See, in depth first, if initial state is goal state, then quit and return success. For example, let's say my initial state is 0, 0 and that 0, 0 is my goal state, then it is going to return directly with success. This depth first search is going to employ stack in form of data structure, because we want to go deeper and deeper, and if we have sticked to some point from which the continuation cannot be done, then that will backtrack. Okay, so for backtracking we have to proceed in LIFO manner. So LIFO manner is going to be used with stack only, right? So see, in depth first search, if initial state is not goal state, then we are going to follow the success or failure that will be signaled. So see, here we are going to generate one successor. That successor is called as E from initial state, and if there are no more successor, then signal failure. So from 0, 0 we will go deeper and deeper, from 0, 0, 4, 0, 4, 0 to 4, 3. Likewise we will go deeper and deeper. Okay, because this is not a level wise searching process. So see, this algorithm is somewhat like a recursive algorithm. So next is called depth first search with E as an initial state. So this E will be considered as my next initial state, and from that initial state again I am going to explore the node on deeper and deeper. So let's say 0, 0 is my initial state. Next we are going to explore 4, 0. Next we are going to explore. Next 4, 0 will be treated as my initial state, and then 4, 3 will be considered. Let us have the if success is there, then signal success, otherwise continue in loop. Okay, now see, tracing of the algorithm of DFS. See, first of all I will have 0, 0 in form of initial state and in form of initial state. These two arrows will be having the transition from one state to another state. See, from 0, 0 I have reached to the node 4, 0. So see, this was considered as initial state, 4, 0 is my next state. So now this is my successor, which will be now treated after recursive algorithm as initial state. See, in recursive algorithm, after having one recursion, my current state will become the initial state. So see, after having the transition from this one to this one, 4, 0 will be considered as my initial state. I want to go deeper and deeper, so 4, 0 will be considered as my initial state. So this is also called as a successor, and now this successor will become E and initial state also. E, that means my current state, or we can say initial state. So now for next transition from 4, 0 we have reached to 4, 3. So now 4 comma 3 is my successor, but now this successor after recursion also becomes initial state. So likewise we will go deeper and deeper, and if the solution is there in this particular branch, then we do not need to explore the other branches. Okay, so see, this 0 comma 0 is my initial state, this 4 comma 0 will be considered as my initial state in next recursion, and after that this 4 comma 3 will be considered as my next state. Okay, that means the initial state for this current recursive, right? So this is the consideration of, or we can say, tracing of algorithm. Now see, from initial state I have reached to this successor, which will be considered as initial state further. From this initial state I have reached to this successor, which will be considered as initial state for further proceeding. Okay, now see, let us study the advantages of DFS. So which type of advantages we are going to cover up? See, DFS requires less memory. That means DFS will not require much memory. How that can be possible? See, in DFS, the number of nodes will be used, that will be less if the solution is going to there in this type of branch only. That means all branches need not to be explored in case of DFS. So if solution is there in leftmost branch, then it is going to occupy less memory. So that is the first advantage of DFS. Now see, next, by chance it may find a solution without examining much of the search space at all, while DFS all parts of tree must be examined to level n before level n plus 1. See, for example, let's say BFS is there, that means breadth first search. So if let's say in rightmost branch the solution is there, then it will be useful to find that. Okay, but see, let's say the solution lies in the down manner, or we can say in deeper manner. So in that case this BFS will not be sufficient, because BFS is going to explore level n before exploring level n plus 1. Okay, so in this type of situation DFS will be more useful. So both breadth first search and depth first search are having their own pros and cons. In some of the cases it will be advisable to use best first search, breadth first search, and in some of the cases it will be advisable to use depth first search. Okay, so these are the control strategies of breadth first search and depth first search and production system. Okay, so thank you for paying your attention. Thank you.